Incheon International Airport, normally a place of well-orchestrated bustle, turned into a storm of flashing cameras, raised voices, and unstoppable energy when global pop sensation Jungkook of BTS appeared this morning. What was meant to be another quiet international departure spiraled into a scene of chaos and wonder. Every movement of the artist, every breath he took, seemed to command the atmosphere. From the moment he stepped through the glass doors of Terminal 1, the world seemed to tilt toward him, as if gravity itself belonged to Jungkook that day. Eyewitnesses described the scene as surreal. Hundreds of fans had gathered overnight, despite strict regulations limiting access to arrival and departure areas. Airport staff had attempted to maintain order, forming human barricades and guiding people toward designated waiting lines. But as soon as the first whispers spread, "He's here. Jungkook's here," the calm dissolved like mist under sunlight. Fans surged forward with phones raised high, trying to capture a single clear image of their idol. Some cried, some screamed, and others simply froze in disbelief, mouths open as the global superstar walked toward the security gates. What truly captivated everyone was not only Jungkook's presence, but his appearance that morning. He chose a style that blended timeless elegance with understated power, a long black trench coat falling neatly over tailored trousers, a crisp white shirt unbuttoned just enough to hint at casual ease, and polished leather shoes that echoed lightly against the marble floor. His hair, slightly tousled but deliberate, framed his face in a way that seemed to belong to both an old Hollywood film and a modern fashion runway. The combination created an image so effortlessly sophisticated that onlookers couldn't decide whether they were watching a K-pop idol or a cinematic legend reborn. Airport employees, used to celebrities passing through, found themselves pausing mid-task to watch him. "We see famous people all the time," said one staff member later. But when Jungkook walked in, the entire atmosphere changed. It wasn't just excitement, it was awe. Security personnel tightened their formation, anticipating the surge. Yet Jungkook remained calm, composed, almost serene. He bowed politely to the crowd, offered a small smile, and continued walking, his eyes occasionally meeting those of trembling fans. That brief human connection, fleeting yet sincere, sent the gathered crowd into renewed waves of cheers. Cameras clicked nonstop. Journalists from Korea, Japan, and even the United States had stationed themselves strategically, knowing that any candid shot of Jungkook could dominate entertainment headlines within minutes. The idol's appearance was already trending across social media platforms under hashtags like hashtag Jungkook at Incheon, hashtag Classic King Jungkook, and hashtag All Eyes on JK. Posts flooded in from every corner of the world, from Seoul to Sao Paulo, from Paris to Jakarta, as fans shared photos, short clips, and emotional captions. Within half an hour, his name occupied the top spots of trending charts on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram Reels. Inside the terminal, however, the situation grew increasingly tense. Fans who had been waiting behind barricades began chanting his name in rhythmic waves. "Jungkook! Jungkook! Jungkook!" Their unified voices echoed against the high glass ceiling. Some travelers, unaware of the event, stopped in confusion, pulling their suitcases aside to film what they assumed was a movie premiere. Children pointed excitedly, while parents tried to understand the phenomenon. The airport's usually efficient traffic flow slowed to a crawl. Yet amidst all the noise and commotion, Jungkook walked with measured grace, the embodiment of calm within chaos. Observers noted that the idol's outfit conveyed a deliberate message. The classic style wasn't chosen randomly. Fashion insiders believe it was a tribute to his ongoing collaboration with luxury brands that emphasized timeless sophistication. Over the past few months, Jungkook's image has evolved, from the rebellious charm of his solo performances to a refined maturity that signals his transition into a global cultural icon. Today's look at Incheon symbolized that transformation perfectly. Simple, elegant, and impossible to ignore. Behind him, his management team and bodyguards moved efficiently, forming a protective semicircle. Manager Kim, a familiar figure among fans, kept a careful eye on the crowd while occasionally whispering to Jungkook. Despite the tight security, Jungkook continued to interact briefly with fans. waving, nodding, and even offering a small finger heart toward the sea of outstretched hands. That gesture alone sent the crowd into fresh hysteria, and several people were seen wiping tears from their faces. He didn't need to say a word, one fan later tweeted. That one smile made everything worth it. The situation reached its peak when Jungkook paused for the press. Reporters shouted questions about his next project, about his upcoming trip, about rumors of a special collaboration. Though airport noise drowned most voices, Jungkook responded with his trademark politeness, offering short comments in Korean and English. "Thank you for coming," he said softly. "Please take care." The brief statement was enough to send journalists scrambling to publish exclusive headlines. His manner, calm and grateful amid chaos, reminded everyone why he is regarded as not just a performer, but a phenomenon. Outside the airport, fans who couldn't enter stood by the entrance gates, waving banners and light sticks. Some had traveled from neighboring cities. Others came from abroad, their suitcases adorned with BTS stickers. Many had waited in the cold for hours, sharing snacks, stories, and songs. When Jungkook's convoy finally drove away toward the departure runway, a hush fell over the crowd, the kind of silence that follows after witnessing something unforgettable. A few minutes later, collective sobs and laughter broke the silence. "He looked like a dream," said one fan from Thailand. "I can't believe I saw him in real life." Back inside the terminal, airport officials worked swiftly to restore order. Barriers were repositioned, announcements resumed, and cleaners began sweeping confetti-like bits of fan posters left behind. Yet even after Jungkook's flight had taken off, his presence lingered like perfume in the air. Travelers passing through could still feel the energy, the residue of something extraordinary. Employees whispered stories to each other, how he had thanked the staff, how he had bowed to fans despite the frenzy, how he had moved like someone who understood both fame and humility. Meanwhile, on social media, the digital storm grew wilder. Short clips of Jungkook walking through the terminal garnered millions of views within hours. Fashion critics praised his outfit as a masterclass in understated luxury. Major outlets like Vogue Korea, Harper's Bazaar Japan, and Billboard posted quick analyses of his look, describing it as a blend of Korean classic minimalism and European flair. Armies, the passionate global fanbase of BTS, filled timelines with heart emojis, artistic edits, and endless expressions of pride. Some compared the scene to the arrival of royalty. Others described it as a real-life movie moment. Behind the glamour, there was also admiration for Jungkook's composure. Despite the overwhelming chaos, he never showed signs of frustration or fatigue. Those close to the BTS member often mention his discipline and professionalism, traits that have carried him from a teenage trainee to one of the world's most respected performers. His ability to maintain dignity and kindness in the face of relentless attention is part of what makes him beloved by millions. "He treats every situation like a stage," said one entertainment analyst. "Even an airport becomes his runway." As the day progressed, news outlets worldwide picked up the story. International media ran headlines describing the Incheon Airport chaos and Jungkook's flawless classic style. Video compilations appeared on YouTube within hours, some amassing hundreds of thousands of views. A particularly popular clip showed the moment Jungkook adjusted his coat near the security gate, a small, almost mundane gesture that fans replayed endlessly, calling it the most elegant 5 seconds in history. The combination of chaos, fashion, and charisma became the perfect viral cocktail. By evening, discussions had shifted toward speculation. Where was Jungkook flying? Rumors spread rapidly. Some said he was headed to Paris for a secret fashion campaign. Others suggested a recording session in Los Angeles.